Welcome to Just Wanna Quilt, a research podcast coming out of Tulane University Law School, where we explore all kinds of things, stories about quilting, tools, field trips, maybe some famous quilters stop by, and, of course, a little bit of copyright thrown in just for fun. I'm Elizabeth Townsend-Gard, your host. I'm a law professor at Tulane University Law School, where I teach intellectual property and entrepreneurship. I'm also a fellow at the A.B. Freeman School of Business with the LePage Faculty Fellow. And at the Newcombs Institute, I also have a fellowship, the Greenbaum Fellowship, looking at all kinds of things related to narrativity and fiber. And of course, I just want to quilt. Okay, so our guest today is Kim Lapacek. She is, we've had her on as a guest before. She does a project called Project Quilting, which is a challenge, and she's starting it on Sunday, March 29th, 2020, the Quarantine Edition. So she talks to us a little bit about that. It starts on Sunday. We're posting this on Sunday as well. And she talks to us about her life. She's on an apple farm in Wisconsin and sort of how everything is. Today is Saturday, March 28th, 2020, and we're going to talk to Kim. A quick note, during the interview, there's a little blip where the internet drops out, and I can't hear her, but for the sake of time, we're not editing it out, so just bear with us. She comes back, and we keep chatting. Yeah, it's good, good days, good moments, bad moments,
Yeah, totally.
It's, it's the psychological trauma that's the fear. Yeah.
I was doing okay until an alarm came out to all of Wisconsin. That was that rare, and it was stay in your house. I'm like, what?
Are you serious? Really?
Yeah, and it was just to because we're now into the I think it's please stay home. I don't know. It's not even. I guess it's to the people who make them realize this is serious, but I don't know. We've been staying home for almost 2 weeks now, so
yeah, us too.
It was our serious, but
yeah, us too. I think our last day out was March 13th.
Wow. Yeah. I think we had I think I was still out. Let me think.
That was the last day of school for the kids. So that's the last day. I think it was the last day of Tulane as well. Everything got closed, I think, that day.
Yeah, wait, where am I? I'm in the wrong calendar. So March 13th, you guys closed? Wow.
Yeah.
Or wait, maybe we closed the 17th.
Yeah, the next Monday.
Well, yeah, and the last day of school is the 13th, and then they kept saying that they were going to go on the 17th to learn about virtual learning.
Uh-huh.
And they never had class again.
I mean, I think the one good thing about it, I thought we should have closed a week before that, we already knew things were getting bad here, but it was also nice for the kid to say goodbye to her friends, and you know what I mean? Everybody knew it was ending, and so a lot of people didn't have that, they just it was just done.
On the 14th, I did let Sadie go to a sleepover because it was well, you're going to go to school on the 17th anyway.
Yeah.
I was well, you're going to get exposed on the 17th. So,
right.
And, had I known they were closing school, I would not have let her do that. But I think it was good for her. She's my 13-year-old, so I think it was good for her to, have one last, night of fun.
Yeah.
Too.
No, and you guys aren't, in super high-risk area. We are, right? We're in, ground zero again.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's not fun.
Yeah. We're not too far from Madison, but, I am lucky that we live out in the country. So, yeah. My husband's still going to work.
He is?
Yeah. But I think next week he's going to work from home. And he, his office has, 5 people, so it's not he sees a lot of people, but... Still.
5 people. That's not terrible. 5 people is not terrible.
No.
Oh my goodness. And so tell us, so for preservation purposes, I know the answer to all these questions, but tell me your name and where you're calling from.
Okay. My name is Kim Lapacek, and I'm from Poynette, Wisconsin.
Awesome. And we are talking, we usually don't date them, but because of where we are, this is Saturday, March 28th, 2020. And we had scheduled to talk, and then we we scheduled and then I forgot this morning. I was like, I'm getting up to double check and then I just didn't. So I really apologize for that. I think everything is off. Like everything is off kilter in every way right now. It's chaotic. So let's just check in and see how things. So how was life before the coronavirus struck the country?
So things were really good. I was doing Project Quilting. My kids were in all their sports and everything. I actually was in Wichita, Kansas on March 9th, 10th, and 11th. So we had started, and I spoke to a guild of over 200 people on the 9th of March.
Wow.
Yeah, which is one of my largest groups ever. And looking back, it's like, oh, I wonder if that was a good idea.
Right.
But at that not gotten too crazy yet. And as we started driving home on March 11th, I like to drive because then I can bring more quilts. So if that's possible, that's what we do. On March 11th, we're driving home and we hear the announcement that they didn't start the basketball game. And
right. Was that creepy? Was that scary? We were driving home when, yes. That was horrifying. Was that the most horrifying? I don't know about you, but I felt like that moment was like, oh no, right?
I'm like, we need to be home. I don't want to stay in another hotel. We're going to get home. We got home at 2 a.m. in the morning. I was like, I don't care. Just do this. Plus, honestly, the news was interesting. So we listened to it and it kept us awake and we were like, we just want to get to our kids. They were with grandma and grandpa and honestly, in a pandemic situation, grandma and grandpa are very capable. They're farmers. They know how to do all of the land stuff. You know what I mean?
Right.
My kids were fine, but mom and me, I was like, oh my God, let's just get home. I won't sleep in a hotel. We might as well just be home, you know?
Right. That's horrible. It's super, super, super horrible. Yeah. All right. So tell me about life now. Kids are home. You're quarantined.
Yep, we're quarantined. We live on the apple orchard, so we are in the middle of 20 acres. So we do have some neighbors, but we don't really see them at all, so it's not really an issue. We have a sports shed, so my family's actually handling it very well.
Yeah.
Most of them are pretty introverted, so they're doing just fine. They're like, oh, my husband's super excited because he thinks the girls are going to get really good at basketball because they have time to just do their drills every day and really focus on that. And they're fine with that because there's not much else to do. So every day they go out to their sports shed for at least an hour and work on basketball.
Oh, that's nice.
And now we're adding in a few nights of softball as well because they're supposed to be starting softball season. I think with everything blurring together, they're sort of forgetting about their disappointments. This weekend, if they knew it was this, they were supposed to be playing in the 8th grade state basketball tournament. That's canceled. Sadie's team was supposed to be playing in the 7th grade tournament next weekend. That's canceled.
Yeah.
So they were looking forward to is canceled, and they were disappointed when it happened. But now, I think they're just sort of living it, you know?
Yeah.
Oh well, you know, and they're handling it way better than I'm handling it.
You are? How are you handling it?
I don't know. I'm sort of honestly, I'm sort of hiding from my family so they don't see how anxious I am.
Really?
So I'm just I've been sewing a lot and.
Yeah.
Are
you there? Hello?
And I hate that's been good, but
yeah. Hold on just a sec. It paused in a really weird way. So I said, "How are you handling it?" And then it cut out. So can you tell me again how you're handling it?
Sure. So I feel like I'm almost hiding from my family so they don't see how anxious I am.
Yeah.
I just I don't want to portray. It's sort of like the dentist. My kids love the dentist because I hid the fear, my fear of the dentist long enough.
Yeah.
So trying to not portray how nervous this is making me.
Well, that's really good. That's a really good mom thing. I think I'm not as good a mom because I'm just like, by the time I get to the evening, I'm like freaking out again. And then both my daughter and my husband both have to be like, it's like they talk me down.
Mm-hmm.
It's not good.
I'm not like watching the news all day long anymore. I try to like watch it the day to like see what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And then I like sitting there listening to everything doesn't help.
Yeah, it's really bad. I think that's what happens. I am trying to do more of not watching, not engaging, and I feel like I'm a healthier person. You know, we've been doing the Million Masks a Day website and the interviews, and I think, you know, and sewing a bit, but it's bad. We know it's bad. It's going to be bad for a while, and we are like very scared. But, you know, we've thought about leaving New Orleans, but we thought, well, where would we go? Right? So, I mean, I do think there's other places in the country that are not like ground zero like we are, which is horrifying. But again, like getting there and figuring out where that is, and we don't naturally have family that would, you know, we don't have family with a farm, right? Like, so our family's in Santa Clara County, which is like not good either. So, you know, it's like, okay, well, I don't know. It's been really stressful.
Well, to go, like, so all of my gigs in April have been canceled, and this was my first year of like real travel and stuff.
Yeah.
So that's all canceled, and they're already rescheduled for 2021, which is good. But I'm supposed to go to Santa Clara the end of May, and I like booked my first flight for it, and I'm just like, I think that's not happening. But he's like officially canceled, and I just like, I don't know when I'm supposed to, you know. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I guess
it's you know, New York just canceled the bar in July for people sitting for the bar there, so that was pretty big. End of July. Yeah, because everybody has to do all of their stuff now, right? Like all the character and fitness and all of that stuff. So it was like, you know, all the deadlines are in May and all this stuff. So we haven't seen if Louisiana's going to cancel, but I don't know how they can hold it, you know? Because it's a big room for 3 days with all these people in it. Like, how would you do that, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. This whole thing is crazy. Just like my girls' sports, like they play softball. I don't know if they'll have a season. And then like my heart breaks for all the seniors in high school. Like, especially like our hometown, we're a really small school. We're Division IV. The girls have won state the last 2 years, and like 90% of the softball team are seniors, so they would have likely won for a third time in a row. And now
it's not.
Yeah.
Like, and prom, my kid's junior, so their prom got canceled. So sad, right? The weirdest is that having a junior, they've canceled the SATs and the ACTs, so it'll be really interesting what happens next year when she applies for school.
Right. Like, they'll have to take it right away or something.
Yeah. If it's, you know, or they're going to have to waive it, you know?
Yeah. Well, they offer the ACTs, like, all the time.
That's true. That's true. And the schools are all closed, so you can't go take it. You know what I mean? Like, the schools have to reopen to have the tests available to take. So it's all very crazy. So I don't know. It's craziness.
Just to, like, get some practice. So
craziness. Well,
so, and I know people keep saying that, but it really is. It's like, what is going on?
Yeah.
And like my husband, his grandma. Well, my grandma's we both have grandmas that are alive. My grandma, not quite like with it, so she doesn't really know what's going on. But his grandma, I think she's 94, and just talking to her, and she's like, "This has never happened in my lifetime," which is sort of like real.
It's pretty crazy, right? I think that's craziness. Yeah, yeah. Like, what we're living through is like I don't know. It's horrifying. So it's really horrifying. All right. So what are you doing? So what are you doing when you're quilting? Are you making masks? Are you delving into new projects? Sort of what are you deciding to do with your time right now?
Quilting season 11 just ended on March 15th was it was been March 22nd was the final challenge. deadline. So that just ended, and normally we would just be done with project quilting until January. But my friend and I, who run this now together, we decided we're going to do a special Project Quilting Quarantine challenge.
Ah, so interesting.
Yeah, we figure, like, people are stuck at home. Like, there's not, like, normally I have prizes and I have all these sponsors and stuff. It's not going to be that. It's just going to be, here's an inspiration. Get your mind off things. You can make a quilt.
I like that. So, now, for those that may not know what that is, first of all, if your website is KimLapacek.com. And correct, yeah. You explain, I know most people know what this is, but explain what Project Quilting is.
So Project Quilting is a challenge I run on my blog. There's usually seasons of it. It starts in January. At noon on Sunday, a challenge goes up, and people have 1 week to start and finish their quilt per that challenge. And then we give everybody a week off to, like, see their family again. And so there's usually 6 challenges in a season. So it goes from, like, beginning of January till, like, mid to end March. Yeah, and this year we had our highest participation numbers ever. We had 776 people participate.
Wow, which was a lot.
Yeah, it was really in 6 challenges. 43 of the people completed all 6 challenges, and 229 people completed at least 1 challenge this season.
That is so cool. I love it. All right, so Project Quilting is you're going to do a special quarantine version of it?
Yep. We're going to do a special quarantine version, so it's actually going to start tomorrow, March 29th.
Really?
I'll post a challenge noon.
Cool.
People will have 1 week. This is to be inspired and to create and to get your mind off things. And then we'll have another week off, and we'll just keep doing this till we're
not quarantined.
You know.
Okay, I totally adore it. I think I'm going to try to do it. I don't know if I'll be able to, but I'm going to try because things are a little chaotic on my side. But I aspire to do it. Yeah, I think it would be really awesome. So tomorrow, we'll post this tomorrow since you're doing the challenge tomorrow. Today is Saturday, so you're starting tomorrow on Sunday, March 29th, and so we'll post this from March 29th if that works for you.
That would be awesome, yeah.
Okay, cool. And then how do they get to it? Because I know it's not up yet, but it will be up tomorrow. Is that right?
You can go to my website, and if they just click on blog, it'll be the first blog post.
It'll be the first blog post. Cool.
I have a Facebook page called Project Quilting. They can sign up for my newsletter. I'll send a newsletter out. And even, like, the last challenge of season 11, it was vibrant and vivacious. So people were they made a bright face mask. So you can still, like, make these challenges fit what you need to work on.
Yeah.
So if all you can do is a face mask, like, at least you're doing that. And not that that's all you can do is a face mask. But
no, I understand.
Focus, you can make
understand.
It, like,
all right, cool. So we are going to post. Will you have it on the front of your website tomorrow as well?
Yeah, it'll be noon Central Time.
Noon Central. Yeah. Okay, well we'll coordinate that. We'll do that. We'll post this as well at that time. I'm super psyched about this. This is making me feel. It's funny. It's this really balanced. Like as I said, we've been making masks, and we've been talking to people about masks, and looking at the news, and then it's a balance of, like, not that. Because, like, if you're at least for me, I'm, like, kind of trying to keep balanced and not completely freak out. So I think the Project Quilting for the quarantine version sounds perfect. It really does.
Yeah. Well, and I don't know if you saw it all, but Gudrun Ursula, yeah, I don't know if I'm saying her name right. Ursula, she did a quarantine quilt along last Sunday, March 22nd, and they had over 16,000 quilters.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's GE Designs. It was amazing. I did it along and helped promote it and stuff, and it was just like, it's like energy and, like, seeing everybody come together and just make it.
16,000. That's craziness. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Amazing.
That's incredible.
Like, it was fun, and I finished it, like, in the chaos of, like, Project Quilting ending, and I have to link. It's a really quick, fun little quilt, and it just, like, honestly, it was my least stressful day since this started.
It's funny, right? That's really what it is. I mean, it's mental health, you know? It really is. It's craziness. Well, that's very interesting. So GE does, interesting.
Yeah. It's like Gudrun Erla.
Yeah.
Erla? She's from Iceland. GE Designs on Facebook.
I see it. Cool. That is so interesting.
You can see like the stats, and it's super cool, and I believe it because there are so many people following. She did like live check-ins and like did little tutorial things like as you checked in, like went through each step, like demos, and there was like some where like you just couldn't even like see what was going on until she posted it later because there were so many people on it, which I thought was an awesome problem to have. So
that is totally an awesome problem to that is very interesting, isn't it? Interesting. Yeah, I'm seeing it right now. That's interesting. Right. Yeah. Quarantine Quilt-A-Long. How interesting. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, there's so much going on right now on so many levels. It's just, it's hard to keep up. It's kind of remarkable.
And there's Quilt-A-Longs going on right now. And like, so this week the mini series Quilt-A-Long with I don't know if I'm going to say his name right, but Juicy Juice and Allison Glass. It's this like super tiny paper piece patterns, and they had this plan before all of this quarantine COVID stuff happened. And it literally like the first block, it's an 8-inch finished block, and there's 75 pieces.
Oh my gosh, that's so insane! That's so insane.
It was like so satisfying, and I like sat and I sewed that, and like when I paper piece like 4 projects at once. So I my elephant quilt from Violet Craft, and I worked on this pineapple, and I worked on the next door neighbor block of the month. So like there's plenty of stuff going on that if you just need a moment to take a breath and just not think, like join a Quilt-A-Long, there's like endless amounts.
There's endless of those. It's so true. It's so true. Right. So if you go to AllisonGlass.com, you can see the sew along happening as well.
Yeah, and that was really fun. So, and I sort of plan on like next week I'll have to do a project quilting challenge, which will be fine. But I like switching between regular and like if I'm paper piecing, I like to do all paper piecing because I have my stitch length down, and then I don't have to remember to like move it up or down again.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
So interesting. You know what I'm doing right now is the Dear Jane quilt.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Totally. I've been doing the Dear Jane quilt, and I'm doing it paper pieced, but by hand.
Wow.
Because I'm doing it while I'm hanging out with the family, so I'm just doing paper piecing, but just, stitching by hand along the lines instead of on the machine.
Yeah.
And it's been great,
Like, I'm seeing my family so much more. Like, my girls, I have 13, a 12, and an 8-year-old, and they're like, we got baby goats, so they're feeding the goats like 3 or 4 times a day, and they're like they're doing chores, and they're cooking a meal a week. Like everybody has their like rotation, and like my oldest daughter is like baking. Like she started baking bread, and like it's been amazing.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, I can't go to the gym, so that's not helping.
Yeah, well, there's that, right? It's totally insane. So I guess the message that we're putting out today is sew masks, that's super important. Everybody needs to be sewing masks. That's super great. But that to balance that on our mental health, there's a lot of really cool things out there that are happening. And just to keep looking and to find projects and to connect. And yours is going to be great. Yours are always so much fun. So again, keep looking and keep watching and find things that make your heart feel a little bit better as we're all kind of waiting this out, I guess.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
definitely.
It's so interesting, isn't it? And the family time is so interesting too, and the slowing down, and I don't know, it's a very strange time.
I know, but it's sort of been a nice breath, I think, in a way. Like, my in sports year round, and so now they're home, and I know they miss their sports. Like, this isn't making them realize they're in too much. This is like they still really miss it, but it is nice to just sort of take a breath and I mean, they're doing homeschooling right now ish. Like their teachers are still teaching them, but they're doing their work at home. And
yeah,
I'm a pretty hands-off mom. Like if they need my help, I'll help them, but I don't like hover.
yeah,
I think they're doing okay. Like I haven't heard from the teachers that they're not. So
yeah. It's very interesting, isn't it? So, yeah.
My daughter with her algebra, and I helped her, and I'm like, okay, like, she's like, well, he hasn't taught us that yet. I'm like, I know, you're gonna have to read the book. Like, this is
right. There's a book, right? And Khan Academy is getting a huge amount of hits at this point, I would imagine, as everybody's like, I'm not sure. You know, we're past that in some way because, you know, Sid is a junior and the classes she takes, but still, it's just a lot. It's a lot. Everything's a lot right now.
Oh, totally. And I give all the teachers credit because I can't imagine trying to switch from classroom teaching to virtual teaching, especially for the little ones. Like, my young third grade, and I think even that can be a struggle. They're just like, and my kids are very good, but like she just gets so frustrated, and her teacher like gets her and knows how to calm her down, and it's so nice to have that. And I'm like, I'm not very good at that, which is why I'm not a teacher. But
some people are like, well, it's home school is great, and I never realized, and others are like, okay, we need to send our kids back to school.
Oh yeah. This is not changing my mind about regular school. They're gonna go.
Yeah.
As soon as it's really good.
Goodness gracious. Well, this is all great. I'm so glad to check in with you. And I will post this tomorrow. Let's one more time tell people that it's a challenge. So explain what it is one more time and how to get to it one more time before we end.
All right. This is Kim Lapacek, and I run a challenge called Project Quilting. Project Quilting is just a fun challenge that goes up on my blog at noon on Sundays, and you have 1 week to start and finish a quilt per the challenge guidelines. We are hosting a special Project Quilting Quarantine 2020 edition. This session is just for fun, inspiration, and to get your mind off all the crazy happening in the world right now. It will start on March 29th, and we'll go post a new challenge every other week until we get to re-enter the world. You can find out more about this at my blog or my website, kimlapacek.com, which is KIMLAPACEK.com. There's a link in the front to the blog, or else you can also just go to Facebook and like Project Quilting on Facebook.
So insanely great. We will also post this tomorrow, and there'll be a link directly to that, so you'll be able to find it that way as well. The challenges you have, the quilt challenge project, your challenge is always super fun. People love it, and it is something to do, definitely, to get your mind off of everything that's happening right now.
Yeah.
Awesome. You are awesome. Anything else before we depart?
Just take care of yourself, take care of your family. Good luck with everything.
Yeah, it sucks. I just have to say, it really sucks. Seriously.
It's weird. And I think the hardest part is like not knowing, like, I don't know, like even if I even get like a cough or like my lungs feel a little bit weird or whatever, I'm like, is that it? And like, you have no idea.
Yeah, it's just scary. It's very scary. It's very, very scary. And we have a lot of health issues in our house just because of who we are, like they're genetic. And so that, and the thing is that like, I've had pulmonary embolisms 3 times in my life. And twice when I was pregnant, and once when I was traveling alone in New York. And the ability to not breathe is such a specific memory, and that's what I think makes this so incredibly terrifying, for at least for me, but for others, because that is not, it's not good. That's all I'm saying. Like, so I don't know. I mean, I think the one blessing is that it's not affecting kids as much, and I can't even imagine if our hospitals would be being filled with, toddlers, and so that's a blessing, I don't know. But one of Sid's friends has tested positive, so and they're 17, so it's not immune. They're not bulletproof.
Right, right.
Crazy.
Yeah, no, it is crazy time, and I have to say I'm super lucky that I live like at this moment. It's really nice to live in the country. Like, I do wish that like I had neighbors that I could stand like far apart from and chat with.
Yeah.
At the same time, like, I have space. I can get away. Like, even like if they close our, they haven't closed our parks here yet.
Yeah.
But even that, if I walk like around my block, I will see nobody, and there's a marsh right there.
Yeah.
So it's like,
you're really in the best place you can be in, right?
Right.
So, they're telling us another 17 days until it peaks here. So, it's just horrible.
Lockdown, sort of. We're on the like, I don't know what it even calls it. It's like stay-at-home orders.
Yeah.
I don't know. Till April 24th. So I'm gonna have my birthday here, which sort of makes me bummed. But whatever. It's not a big birthday, at least. But
yeah.
And like, I had friends that they like had their 40th and stuff, and they're on lockdown. And
yeah.
I'm like a really big birthday celebrator, so like I wear a crown.
Right, it's those moments, those little moments. I keep saying it's like little tremors because I'm from California where we have earthquakes, and there's like little things that happen when you're like, oh, we can't do that, or oh, that's happening now, right? That it's just these little moments that I think are the hardest.
Well,
to
and then
recognize.
you feel guilty. That's what you're sad about, and you're like, so many people are dealing with so much more. But at the same time, I think you need to let yourself be sad about things too.
Yeah, I think that's a good thing. That's a good way to think about it. Well, it sounds like you are doing okay, and it's certainly great to hear from you. And,
yeah, you too.
And I can't wait for your challenge to start. Project Quilting. It's awesome.
Yeah, fun. So.
Awesome. All right, fabulous. You're cool with us posting this?
Yes, I am.
Awesome. All right, hold on just a second.
So you've been listening to Just Wanna Quilt, a research podcast coming out of Tulane University Law School. And I'm Elizabeth Townsend Garr. If you like this podcast, keep listening. Also, we have a Facebook group. Come join us. We talk about a lot of things. We also have an Instagram account. And of course, most importantly, I really hope you get a chance to quilt today.